that I was able to take from that, I've been implementing in the classroom and really giving them a chance to use the technology, use Google, and it's been a great tool for us to collaborate together. We can differentiate the learning and the instruction, but they have really taken off and flown with it. They created this presentation for you. They did it by doing a Google Slides, which is just like a PowerPoint. But instead of them getting up in front of the class and talking, they decided to record their voices. And this is what, guys, maybe the 15th to 20th time that you've recorded it? So they're perfectionists. They wanted to get it perfect for you. And just give you an overview of how we've been using Google in our classroom.
How our class uses Google. By Quinn, JT, and Alec. Asking classmates questions. With Google, we can ask classmates questions about current projects. The teacher can also answer any questions the students may have. You can also view any past comments a student has posted.
At home and at school. With Google accounts being online, you can access any of your docs, slides, or drive anywhere, from any device. If you have a document due that night, you don't have to get it all done at school. Instead, you can do it at your house.
Internet projects. Using Google, our teacher can give us projects from Google Classroom. We can write essays or just answer reading response questions after reading articles. Also, our teachers can help us when we are having trouble by sending us advice using the comments.
Asking questions. Examples. Students can ask each other questions via the Google Classroom comments box. Once someone has posted an answer to a question, everyone can see it for however long they want. We can also view others' comments. And to the right, I will be uploading some pictures.
At school and at home. Examples. I did a school project about SeaWorld. I could not finish it at school. My solution was that I decided to do it at my house. All I did was log into Google and went into it. Then I typed it and turned it in, and I was done. And on the right will be a picture of SeaWorld.
Internet projects. Examples. When our class uses Google for projects, we can all help each other. We can also view the due date and the other students' answers after we submit our answers. And to the right, I will be posting some examples of internet projects.
The end.
Our class uses Google every day. It allows us to collaborate with each other by working together on slides, presentations, editing papers together, and doing different activities on Google Classroom.
Thank you for your time tonight.
One of the things that you noticed that they all said in theirs was that they were going to be uploading pictures. So this is an aspect that I really, really like. Whereas before, when we would be using just PowerPoint, they would have to be huddled around one computer, working on the project one slide at a time. Right now, what they're doing is they're all working on their slide presentation at the same time on their own devices, and they're able to work on each of their slides by picking their photo that they wanted to share with you. I also have access to it, so I can get into their presentation while they're working on it, and I'll be able to see, I think this is Alec's slide, that he's been uploading it. He's going to resize it and put his picture in. What they're uploading, this first one, is what Alec was talking about in his presentation, where I'll put up an assignment. This one was a text-dependent analysis question that our class was working on, to where they had to supply a lot of textual evidence for, I think this one was a cell phone writing assignment. Nope, this was the body clock, about circadian rhythm. And they're able to post questions to each other, ask each other for help. The first person, Will, was asking for a concluding sentence. He's like, I'm really struggling with a concluding sentence, help me out. Alex suggested to use, it's so hard to read it, use your opinion to make it your own. Alec also typed in an excellent concluding sentence for him to use, and they can go back and forth. And there's 2 pages of this to where they are completely helping each other. They're not raising their hand and asking me for help. They're using the technology, posting, they're checking the main board where all of the questions post so that they're able to almost be advocates for themselves and then support each other in the classroom. And there's the second page of those questions. Another way that we use this is what Quinn and JT were talking about. I'll find a lot of current event articles and post them right onto Classroom. This one happened to be about North Korea and whether or not they really tested the hydrogen bomb. They go on, they read the article, and then they can answer my reading response question. It says, do you think North Korea really tested the hydrogen bomb? Back up your answer with evidence from the text. You can see 29 students were able to answer. 1 did not. Maybe they weren't there that day. Same thing with GT's for SeaWorld. It was about whether we should cage the orcas or put them in sea pens. Same thing, they had to back it up with evidence from the text. All 30 of them were able to answer that question. And then I think, are you guys all finished?
Yeah.
We can go back to their slides presentation and see that Alec has uploaded his 2 pictures. JT uploaded his regarding SeaWorld. And Quinn uploaded hers regarding the hydrogen bomb. Besides using it for this, as far as them collaborating and working together, I really enjoy using it to differentiate my instruction. I have a vast difference of learners in my classroom, so it's really, really helpful for me to be able to have them all using technology, have them all using Google Classroom, but gearing questions and gearing activities for them. If anybody were to walk in my classroom, they would see that each student is using a computer, they're using their Google Classroom, but they're in 3 different tier 2 levels. So whenever I want to, I can go into my Google Classroom. And you'll see all of the different classes that I have set up. I have my homeroom set up with 30 students, and then here are my 3 tier 2 groups. You'll see I have 3 students in the Eagles group, 4 in the Orioles, and 6 in the Tar Heel group. Right now, they're all answering questions on theme, but each of their questions is tailored to their specific strengths as a student and their needs as a student. So the skill that they're working on is theme, but they're doing it on 3 different educational levels. So if we can go into the Tar Heels classroom, this is talking about the book, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. So it's asking, what does naive mean? Do you think Shmuel is as naive as Bruno? So raise your hand if you're my Tar Heel. JT is answering that question. For my Orioles tier 2. This is talking about the Devil's Arithmetic, as well as The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. Quinn, are you doing this one?
Yeah.
So this question says, Hannah was innocent and naive, much like Bruno, when she wrote the numbers on her arm. Why was Grandpa Will so upset with Hannah, even though Hannah didn't know what she was doing? And then my last group is the Eagles group. And that is Alec. You're my Eagles group, Alec?
Yep.
Thank you. And his is asking for him to describe the theme of Devil's Arithmetic. So they're working on that right now, and this is what makes it so easy to differentiate. They're all using technology. They're all discussing theme. They're comparing and contrasting texts across different curriculum and different novels. But they're doing this using that Google tool, using Google Classroom. Anybody submit their answer? Almost. It's fine, take your time.
No pressure.
Maybe for the rest of the people here, it'd be nice to know the Chromebooks that were passed out. This is the first year, and what grades
So I
are
believe
using?
that the Chromebooks are high school right now?
9 through 12 at the high school.
Okay.
Okay, and the 3 students that are here in front of you today, they're using the model Chromebook that we took the loaners. So at the high school, we have a stack of loaners, so if a new student comes in, regularly they're assigned one until their name is permanently given, they'll get a loaner. Or if a student has an issue that needs a repair, they'll get a loaner. So we borrowed the loaners today for the 3 students in front of you. Now, what do they have in their room? It wasn't long ago at the board meeting, you saw about converting old computers into Chrome kiosks. They have a whole set in their classroom. So every student goes and pulls one out of a cart and they use. So as long as they've got access to the internet and the Chrome browser, they have access to their Google Classroom. So that's what's so neat. At home, any computer with an internet connection in Chrome, they're logging in to their customized experience with their documents. And for us, we don't have to store any of that data. We don't have any infrastructure to back it up. It's all out there in the cloud for them to have. Instant, ready, and collaborate. Good question.
And that's what's been so wonderful as a teacher. I don't have to set a deadline for them to finish something at the end of the day. They know that they can go home and get on their computers at home and they'll be able to finish that assignment in their own time. They're not feeling that stress and that pressure to get it done before they leave Friendship Elementary School at the end of the day. They know that they can go home and they can continue working on that. You guys all done your questions?
Yep.
So, and this is something easy for me to just go in. I see now I have one student done, and I'll be able to read her response right away. She said the numbers represented you were in a concentration camp, but Hannah was not in one. Hannah did not know that is what they did to Jewish people in concentration camps because she is so innocent and naive. Good job, Quinn. Alex said, remembering what your ancestors did for us in the past. That was the theme of the Devil's Arithmetic. My father travels a lot and has to sacrifice his time with family for his work. Is that how you related it to yourself, Bud?
Yeah.
Thank you. And then JT, what does naive mean? Like a child, innocent, you're unknowing. No, I think he knows much more about what the Nazis are doing to the Jewish people. He can speak multiple languages and knows geography. We find out they are living in Poland because Shmuel tells Bruno they are in Poland. So obviously Shmuel knows more and isn't as naive as Bruno. This is really a great tool, and I absolutely love using it in the classroom. I'm so thankful that we do have those computers that are available to them. There's enough so that each student can have one for themselves and work on the computers all day long. We've been incorporating testing on the computers. I know in their word study class, they take tests on the computer. In my social studies and geography classes, they're testing on the computer, which has been new, but it gives them immediate feedback, which is nice. I wanted you guys to share what your favorite things were about Google. JT, you want to start?
Sure. On Google, we can make presentations more creative instead of giving a speech about them.
I think my favorite thing about Google is that my friends and my teacher can give me advice for any project that we do as a class or as an individual at home or at school.
My favorite thing was making the PowerPoint with these two.
Kind of going off of what JT said. Read yours one more time, bud.
On Google, we can make presentations more creative instead of giving a speech.
Yeah, I asked him, would you three have rather been in front of all of you and speaking your PowerPoint, or did you really like using that Snagit tool to kind of copy the screen and record your voice? And he said absolutely, he liked doing that much more. And Quinn, with hers, as far as communicating at home and school, there's actually been times this year where she's been sick at home and she'll contact me through Google because she's working on a project or working on a paper and she needs help with something. So it's immediate feedback and contact to each other to constantly help each other. So I was teaching in my math class how to find the mean absolute deviation, and was able to find a Snagit online of another student explaining it and going through step by step of finding the mean, finding the absolute value away from the mean, and calculating that number. So we watched it, and it was neat because it wasn't me explaining it, it was another student that was explaining it while they were solving the math problem. So I know that my 6th grade math class really did take a lot away from watching that Snagit. And like Mr. Mickey said, it's like a tutorial to where you can record what you're doing and explain how to do it and then post it online to help others.
So it's something you can do a search for?
Yeah, so what I did to find it is I went to the Google add-ons and then searched for a screencast, and Snagit came up, and then I just added it to my Google, my Chromebook, and then they were able to get onto my Chromebook, pull up their presentation, and they sat there and went through their presentation, recording their voices, when they want the slides to change, their transitions, all of that.